how to make a simple quiz game in Scratch. To begin, we are going to need a character for our game. So I will delete the cat and pick a character. My character is going to be a bear. Next, I want to build my first question and answer set of code. So underneath of sensing, there are two blocks, an ask a question block and an answer block. We are going to need that. Let's start with the ask the question block. So let's change the question to be, next, we want to put what happens if the question is answered correct or incorrect. So under control, I will find my if, then, or else block and slide it under the question. Now I need to have the computer check my answer. So I'll go under operators and grab the equals operator and drop it in this box. So if the answer equals, and we'll type in the correct answer, then what will happen? So now if I go back to that sensing area, I can take the answer right here. This is whatever the user types in as the answer. So that's the answer, and we want the answer that they type in, we want it to be checked and see if it is the right answer. So we'll type in omnivore here because that is the correct answer. So now the computer will check to see if what the user typed is correct. Spelling is important. Next, we want to tell the computer what we want to happen if the question is correct and what we want to happen if it's not. So if it's correct, we're going to put this from looks, the say block in, and we're going to have the bear say correct if it's correct. If it's incorrect, we are going to have the bear say incorrect. Now, let's run our program from here. If I click on this top block, it'll run it from that point. So it asks the question, and then I type in the answer. And it tells me correct. If I were to run the program and type in the incorrect answer, it says incorrect. So far my program is working. Let's keep going. Next, I want to be able to keep score for my game. So under variables, I'm going to create a new variable or make a variable for the score. So I'll call that new variable score. Once I do that, it's going to give me some blocks that I can change and use that variable in. So for my questions, I'm going to want the score. If the question is answered correctly, I want the score to change by 1. So there'll be a point added for the score. If the question is incorrect, then I want the score to be changed by -1. And you don't have to put this in. You could just leave it out and just have the score increased when the questions were right. This would depend upon the age of your students. Now that I have the code written for my first question and answer set, I can duplicate this code for each of the questions and answers I want in my quiz and just edit it slightly. So to duplicate something, you click on the top block and it will duplicate everything underneath of it. So the top block, I'm going to right-click on it and choose Duplicate. You'll notice that the duplicated code sticks to my mouse. So I want to be very careful here and snap it underneath of the original code. And I might want to do that multiple times. Duplicate, duplicate. So let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do one more question. 5. But you can do as many as you want. And then let's go up and make some slight changes. Instead of a bear here, I'm going to have a lion. Oops. Instead of a bear, I'm going to have a snake. Instead of a bear, I'm going to have a duck. And one more. Okay, I have all of my questions now. So next, I want to program what's going to happen to start the game and what's going to happen at the end of the game. So to start my game, I'll go under Events and choose a When Flag is Clicked block. That will start the game. And then, to begin with, I want my score to be set to 0 at the beginning of each game. So I need to go under Variables and find the Set To block and set the score to 0 to begin at the beginning of my game. Next, I want to decide how long I want the game to go on until the game is over. So in the control area, I want to find my Repeat Until block and snap that up here. And then I'm going to want to go get one of those equal operators again. So we're going to have the game play until we want the score to be a certain number. So under Variables, I'm going to grab the score and plop it in here and decide how high do I want the score before the game is over. I'm going to say 5. And then I'm going to grab this top block right here, so I have all of my code, and put it inside of the Repeat Until block. So now the questions will keep repeating until the score equals 5. And when the score equals 5, we want the game to be done, so we want the bear to say, game over. All right, that's our basic game. Let's try it out. You can see my score is going up as I do this. And when I get to 5 points, it says game over. Now this is the basis for the game. You can get even more creative. You could have the bear move every time an answer was answered correctly. You could add a backdrop. You could make the bear dance when the game is over. You could add a lot more questions. There's so many things you can do from this one basic game to make it even more creative. So I can't wait to see what you create.